Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Lawanda. Today we're going to do something a little different. So be prepared for a longer video. I'm going to try to speed it up as much as I can, but I want to try to explain what I'm doing as well. So I am starting the setup for June in my Stalogy A5, which is my on-the-go planner these days now. I still use my pocket, but I am really focusing on getting a little bit more creative. So I was thinking of how can I create a June title page when you're not a doodler. My handwriting is not perfect or not great at all. Actually, my cursive is better than my manuscript, which is interesting. And I just wanted to do something a little different and try to create a June title page. Hindsight 2020, if this is a complete failure, I have a great idea of how to do this next time. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I kind of already sketched it out, and so in my mind I want a title page that says June, of course, here. And to me, a Hawaiian flower just sounds tropical. That tells me summer because this is summer solstice. We're getting ready for summer, and that's what I wanted here. So what I did is I printed a flower. I found a flower, I printed it, and I cut it in half and then I placed it up under here to get an idea of where I want like a banner for June, and then I tried to trace it lightly. Hindsight 2020, if this goes as a failure, I might just glue this sucker on. There's no shame in that, and find a different way of doing June, but we'll figure it out. So we're going to work on the June title page. Also, I'm going to do my month on 2 pages, which I've already started dotting it out. I've been toying back and forth with the idea if I start off with the first or start off with the second here. I'm not for sure, but when I get into it, whatever happens will happen. And then we're going to do a June goal sheet in a June perpetual calendar and a habit tracker, and then we'll stop there. So that is the goal of what we're going to get done today. Like I said, it's going to be a super long video, so sit tight, you guys. All right, let's do it. The first thing I thought was the easiest to do, let's just go ahead and darken up the banner that's there for June. And to be honest, I wanted to do everything but that flower, because that flower was giving me all types of anxiety. So I came up with the idea to do one of those cute little calendars that kind of drop below it, just spaced out. So I went ahead and highlighted that in and put the dates in. If I'm not mistaken, nope, that's not the one I messed up on, so cool. So just writing out the dates and having some good space. I thought it would be kind of cute to see it at a glance here. It is kind of redundant to have it here and then to have a full calendar right behind it, but I don't care. Hindsight 2020, I will do my July title page, and I will not have anything behind it because a lot goes into trying to do this title page, and it just would have been so much easier not to have anything backed up to it or it to ghost on anything else, and you'll see what I mean. So I just started with the gray highlighter, right? First things first, I used the wrong side of the highlighter. I used the more of the highlighter side than the pen side when I started coloring in it, and I should have just used the same side that I'm using currently. But it was working out, so don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't giving me the look that I was looking for. So here I am, I'm taking my time and I'm tracing it out as for what I can see and trying to make the flower. Because my intent was to color it in gray and purple and use the marker to make it darker. But then I was really nervous about the ghosting once I realized that me and the highlighter were not as good as friends as I thought we were. But it is okay because something else came through at the end as clutch, because there was no way that I was going to do this highlighter, then use the pen over it and then try to highlight the purple on the inside, because that's what I wanted. If you notice the little flower cut open, that's what I was practicing, because I wanted the inside to be purple. And that was not going to go down, because no matter which pen I use, if I threw that highlighter over it, it was going to smear. And I was like, oh my God, that's why I was so nervous into doing it, and I was taking my time. So after I get kind of the outline trace, and don't get me wrong, it looks fine, but I didn't, you know, with highlighters, if you kind of go over it more than once, it'll give you that extra dark shadowing effect, and it looks like it went over twice. So, and then with the paper being thin, it's not like on a cardboard where you can kind of paint with the marker. So I was on struggle city, but it's okay. So when I finished with the gray, I went ahead and I got my pen, and I tried to highlight using the pen to darken up the areas of where I were outlining. And I wanted to make sure that that was good and clean. See, that was me thinking about that purple, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that purple. Then I was like, well, how do I want to write June? And I was so afraid to write June. So here I am practicing with my pencil, and I'm like, didn't like that. I erased a lot. I erased a lot. I can't help it, you guys. I was so afraid. So I just skipped that part, and I got the pen out, and the pen worked fine, and it gave me what I was looking for, that nice dark outline. This pen has a very nice dark color. For some reason in the next part, when I was drawing the other lines, it started skipping, but I think it had more to do with the board that I was using up under it than it did the actual pen. But it gave me what I was looking for there, but I still was trying to find a way to get that purple in there, and I finally did. So I'm not for sure if I'm going to show this or not. I don't want to get ahead of myself, so let's just see what I do, right? Let's just see. I mean, look at it. It's cute, right? I went and hijacked some color pencils from my daughter, and I was like, can I make that work? And I was like, yes, I can. So I was so afraid when I started with the color pencil that it was going to kind of give it a cheap effect, but I didn't want to color down hard with this, because it's just a Crayola color pencil, so I didn't want to color down too hard on it with the color pencil. And I know it can't smear. I don't know if you guys ever use art pencils before, but you can kind of smudge it and make it look a little bit more smoother. There's a technique to it. It was not working because these are Crayola color pencils. So if anybody knows of any artistic pencils that they have used before, that they enjoyed, that gives them that artistic touch, drop them down below. I would like to check them out, because using this color pencil, like, it did renew my faith in what I was doing, and it gave me that look that I was looking for without the very harsh lines, and I was so appreciative of it. And then it made me wish I had colored everything in the color pencil, and I wouldn't have had to worry about some of the ghosting issues that I'm gonna have on this page. So I did it first with the blue, then I went back and I found the black, and then I started to go over the gray with the black, because originally it's supposed to be that darker color, and it's like, since I have the black, let me go ahead and try to darken that in. So first I was just gonna make the outer edges darker and leave it the lighter gray, but I didn't like the look of the highlighter versus the look of the pencil. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, I like the pencil more, so let me go ahead and just do it. So I was like, note to self, find color pencils, right? Because I was enjoying this. Now, y'all, let me tell you, I went over it a couple of times, and you'll see that I kept going over it till I got the color effect that I was looking for. So I did the black, then I went back over it again with the purple, just because I truly enjoyed this time. It was like therapeutic. Nothing else was going on around me. Kids were beating up each other. It didn't matter. I don't know what was going on outside. It's 100 degrees outside. That's what's going on outside. It didn't matter. The earth is scorching out there, and it was never so minding me. So, because I truly enjoyed the coloring of this, and I was like, okay, bet my next one I'm gonna color. I did remember that if I took a white color pencil, sometimes with white you can go over it and it'll kind of give you that's, I don't want to say smearing, but smudging effect that I was looking for in certain areas. So I did remember that from like art from back in 1990 something when I was in art class. And I did that a couple times, and that worked out. It gave me the look that I was looking for. I had to go sharpen my pencil, y'all. It was dull. I got these out of my daughter's backpack. There's no shame in my game on this one. But hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I was about to get some Crayola crayons, because if I knew if I ain't had nothing else in this house, I had some Crayola crayons. But definitely I'm on the look for some art pencils, because this was like, oh my God, this was a great idea. Because at the beginning it was like, oh my God, this is a horrible idea. I'm gonna mess up my whole bujo and throw it all away. But no, I utterly enjoyed this. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you guys how much I enjoyed it. I'm just gonna let you watch. If that wasn't satisfying for you guys, I just don't know what to do. Sorry I'm out of frame, because I didn't even care anymore. I was just coloring. And so then I kind of like, all right, let's get June in here. And I was debating if I was gonna write it in a script or not, but I just decided to do it in a manuscript. I was gonna try to do bubble letters, didn't work out. So I was like, you know what, let's just write it normally how I would write June. And then I used the gray highlighter over it, and then I doubled it and make it darker. And then I'm gonna go back later with my pen and outline it again and kind of make the outline a little bit deeper. And so here we go to the next page where I'm doing the calendar. I completely fudged up on this calendar. Mainly the main thing that I was thinking about in my head was, it's gonna ghost on the other side of my June cover sheet. Or I had a name for it, right? But I was just, all I could think of is that for my month sheet, it's gonna ghost. And to the point where that last line on the other page is actually, no, it's this line. I completely messed up that line that I just did, because it was not the same line across the way. I don't know how I did that, because I was trying to solve for starting June off on the 1st, knowing that the 1st is on a Saturday and I'm doing a Sunday start on the month on a 2-page. And because of that, I didn't know quite how I wanted to like put the days of the week. I didn't know how I wanted to add that extra day, since it was going to be not a full day. And you kind of see that that last day is like half the size, because I didn't have enough space. And I was like, I'm not going to do all that. I didn't know if I really wanted to put the space at the top or not. It was just a lot of decisions that had to be made there that I was not here for. I tried to use these stickers that I got from Olives and Carrots, or Carrots and Olives. I hope that I'm saying that right. She's here on YouTube. Carrots and Olives, but I decided not to. I was like, you know what, I'll just write it in, and I can use these for a week or something. No sweat. So I went ahead and highlighted first, so where I wanted to write. And this, when I started highlighting, is when I realized that something was a little wrong there, but that's okay, because let me tell you, this whiteout was clutch. For some reason, the big mini whiteout matches really good with the paper, because I used it a lot. So what I should have done is kept using this pen when I wrote the other dates in, but I was so trying not to make that decision on what I was going to do on the other side of the page regarding the days of the week, if I was going to drop it down a level or keep it up high. I don't know. I was just going through stuff on that one. So I finally just said, you know what, it's not that serious. Let's just go ahead and put them up to the top, and you know, the space will just be there, and we'll just deal with it, right? I mean, it was just too much. I was just more hurt that, you know, I kind of fudged my other side. And then I got my, you know, washi tape always comes through in clutch. I was gonna try to use the same sides, but I realized I can't. I'm gonna have to go smaller. So I used the 10 to the top and the 15 to the bottom. I think that's how it goes. And Dillard's came through in clutch. So finally, I'm like, all right, let's just draw these thinking things in here. I realized the index card was a whole lot easier to use than dealing with the stinking ruler. Sometimes you just need that sharp edge. So I drew it out first, and then I picked up the wrong pen. It's not a bad thing. It's just that I didn't mean to pick up the Paper Mate. And the Paper Mate, as you're gonna see, is way darker because this is a 0.7 and the other pen that I was using was a 0.5. Let's talk about what had happened. So I got so into what I was doing here with the coloring and getting everything done and drawing the lines and yada yada yada, that apparently at some point my camera died. And I can tell so far based on what I've uploaded that you guys kind of seen up to here. Since then I wrote in my grandmother's birthday, I have a gymnastics thing and Father's Day, and that's about it. But you missed all of this. So I started my goals. This is where I looked up and I realized that the camera was off because it was dead. And that's how you know you're enjoying something that you're doing. You completely forget about what you're doing, how long it's taking and everything. And sorry guys, I got allergies. But that's what happened. I looked up, camera was dead, and I was in the zone. So I even went back a couple times and re-outlined the June, and then took my pen, which I don't know. I for some reason this pen here, I'm not gonna try that again. This pen kept skipping, but I don't think it was skipping because of the pen. I think it was skipping because of what I was using on the other side of the board. And then I went and pulled out this 0.7 Paper Mate, but it was actually too dark. I don't know if you guys could see what I wrote in there, but I put on my shopping list for this week, I need color pencils, because when you start stealing your baby's color pencils, that's an issue, but they work. And so now after doing this, I realized that when I do my title page, I don't want anything else behind it. So now I know for July's title page, nothing else will be behind it. And I kind of like how it turned out. But you know, it is what it is. Let's see. So I'm gonna make at least 2 more boxes so I can have at least 6 main goals, 2 personal, well, maybe more than that, I don't know, but it'll definitely be at least 6 goals here, and I'll outline that. And then I already started my perpetual calendar, and then I'm just gonna do my habit tracker here, and then we're gonna go into the weeks. And this won't start until the week of June 3rd. And I'm trying a different format. So you can see I kind of already lined it out. So I'm gonna have the week at a glance up here and have it split into the lines. And I will start with Monday and write anything that I need to write down about Monday, then go to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. So that's all I have. I'm so sorry that it stopped on me. I mean, yes, I could finish drawing out the goals, but there's nothing really much to see there. And yeah, I mean, I'm just sorry. Hopefully I explained everything in the voiceover, or I will explain what I was doing in the voiceover. I know I'm gonna have to speed it up because that's like an hour plus of time that went into doing this and the lines, but it was peaceful time, and it reminded me of how much I actually enjoy coloring, which is so weird. So that's all I have for my June setup. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I probably will do a flip through when I do this week of June 3rd. When I start that week and do that weekly, I'll do a flip through so you guys can see June and everything kind of set up here in the habit tracker and that week. And then we'll kind of go from there. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Remember that energy is contagious. I know I say this all the time, but you guys have to understand, energy is contagious. If you put forth good energy, it will come back to you, I swear. You have to put that energy out there in the universe and it'll come back to you. Until next time, you guys, see you next planner day. Bye.